Hey everyone, I've got a game today that is coming out on Kickstarter soon. It's a game that I will 100% be backing, and I'll tell you why. This is a cooperative sci-fi adventure and its legacy. Now, I've had the opportunity to play Mission 1 with the game designer himself, Emil Larsen. The game is Rogue Angel's Legacy of the Burning Suns. And what this game does is take Mass Effect and makes it this legacy board game. And it does so well. It does it. It nails it perfectly. There are an array of character decisions that everyone gets to talk about on their turn during the round. And there's also this strong narrative. It's just exciting. I can't tell you how clean and easy this game is to play and how much fun I had while I played the mission. I can't convey enough just how thoroughly engaging, exciting, dynamic, and smooth everything is. Now, the thing I really enjoy about this particular game is the way that players get to make their choices. They get to take their actions. When a player takes their turn, they're exhausted until everybody is exhausted. And so you always get to choose the player order when it's up to the player's turns when you have a particular mission at hand. Now, every mission is going to be punctuated with these events and these emergencies and these quests that you have to react to in the middle of the particular mission. So missions are dynamic, they build, and they grow with whatever your overall goal is for that particular session. Each session takes about 90 minutes to 120 minutes to play, and every time you play a particular mission, a scenario, it will take you in a direction that is solely based on the choices you made. There is no coming back and replaying a mission again to get it better. There is no redoing. Whatever you choose, whatever outcome, that's the direction your narrative and your story for your group takes place. That happens. And so I really, really like that legacy element to it. Now, here's the cool thing. You ask me, okay, if it's a legacy game and you can't go back and you make all of these choices that are character-based and mission-based, is this game replayable? Yes. And how it works is every character will have modified cards, modified abilities and strengths and certain, features that they can adjust for that character, and that character will be that character for the entirety of the legacy. You can't go back and fix anything, you can't go back and adjust anything, but there are lots of characters that are included. And every time you use a character, you essentially get to change and modify a sheet. And that sheet doesn't change any of the components. It doesn't affect any of the cards. It doesn't mar anything. And so this game can be played through again with you choosing different outcomes, choosing different paths, making different decisions, and playing with different characters. And so you can absolutely play through this again, you can share this game, and you can have multiple legacy games going at once. So I think that replayability feature is just phenomenal. Now, there are a base number of characters that were designed when I played the game this past fall on Tabletop Simulator, but there are more. So for the Kickstarter edition, there are going to be more characters available, and these characters have such a unique flair and personality and skill set to them. I'm just blown away at how interesting and dynamic these characters are, because when you play your cards from your hand, your cards are specific to your character. So I was sitting and playing a certain deck of cards from my hand while Emil was playing with other cards and different kinds of things. And his player character had fewer stats and skills than I did in certain areas. And so I was strong in certain ways, he was strong in certain ways, and I got to see the way both of those characters work by just playing through that very first scenario simulation with him. And it was just so cool to see how each character can complement each other, how each character can complement the particular mission at hand. and how your choices make that kind of linear decision, that narrative path. It's just a fun experience, character-wise, card-wise, map-wise. Honestly, all I wanted to do was just keep playing the game. I just wanted to play the next mission. I wanted to play the next scenario. That makes me feel like I'm playing a game that I want to play. It made me feel like I was playing Gloomhaven, or I was playing an Aeon's End Legacy, where I have this team and I have my cohorts and we all have our special skills and abilities. We all have our own cards, but there's a chance for us to grow together, to have particular effects that change or challenge our characters' strengths and abilities. We get to add cards to our hand and the game grows with you. The cards that you have will give you certain benefits once you begin adding this character pathway or character growth to your player. Like you as the player, you get to essentially modify this character, and the cards you start playing will then have bonus effects. But in the very beginning, you don't play with those because you don't have them yet. Your character hasn't made a decision. They haven't made a path yet. But the fact that those cards are all there and have that on them, so cool. I felt like every action I took, I felt like every card I played was really important. And I also like how your cards take time to cool down and come back to you. So when you play a card into your area, it has a cost. And that cost means that it goes into a slot in your area. And you have these cards that every turn shift down because they're cooling down and they take time to come back into your hand. So some cards you can play every turn because they essentially are a zero cost. You don't have to make a slot for it. But you have slots, and if you can't place it in the slot that you want to because that's the number it matches, you have to place it higher, which means it takes even longer to cool down. So now you've got even more decisions to make. Well, should I play this card because it's really cool, but I also have to wait longer to cool it down, or should I hold off until that slot's empty? A lot of character and player choice. It's insanely dynamic and really interesting. There is also a phenomenally smart way that health starts to essentially affect a player. I recall Emil mentioning, it doesn't make sense to me in video games when you can do all the same amount of things if you have 10 health versus if you have 1 health. So 0 health means you're KO, you're knocked out, or you might die. So at 10 or 1, he said, it doesn't make sense that you can do the same things. It should be that the weaker you get, the harder it is to do certain things. And so what he did was he designed this health system that weakens you as you continue to get hurt. If you go past your health points, if you get KO'd, essentially, you get these cards that start filling up your slots for your action cards. And so not only does it take that space for it to go out the same amount of turns. So if you get a level 3 hit, then it takes that time to work all the way down to the level 0 slot, but it might actually have an effect when you play it. It might have an effect as you continue working it down. So these damage points that you get vary, and they also vary in how they hurt you. And I love that it's not just that, again, the idea that at 10 points and 1 hit point, I'm the same. No, if you get hit once, you're hurt. If you get hit again, you're hurt even more, and it starts to really clog up your area, and it really starts to affect your player choices, and it really starts to affect how you help the team. So it's just smart. The game is very straightforward and easy to play. That's one thing that I felt when I played. There's no uber complex go here. There's no read this book here. There's no do that. It's just simply, here's what you do. Here are the cards. Place them here. Do that effect. The foes battle in a very similar way, and once you've triggered the end of the scenario, the book that you read, the narrative book, will guide you. It will tell you a story, it will tell you what happens next, and it will tell you what your next mission is. It's just a very clever, fun, exciting, and highly thematic game that I am really, really looking forward to. If you're super excited, if you're really interested, I got all the information down in the description below, but you can actually play it on Tabletop Simulator right now, just like I did, which is really, really cool. Again, I'm so excited that I got a chance to play it, and I got to see the artwork and the components and the chits and the cards and all the really, really cool stuff. Hands down, great story, great artwork, and a fantastic design. So please take a look at and keep your eyes peeled for the Kickstarter campaign of Rogue Angels, Legacy of the Burning Suns. I'm excited. I think you should be too. All right, see you later.